Hello, my acquaintances. I have a couple of videos, and I like this channel to be something funny and or cringe or just something leisurely you can watch while eating ice cream and just have a little chill time, maybe have a laugh. But I don't feel comfortable just continuing my channel as normal without just ignoring what's happening and what's been happening and what continues to happen every single day. I haven't been silent on any of my other social medias, so it doesn't really make sense to just continue everything here. Of course, I don't have all the information and I don't fully understand because I never could understand because, I'm whiter than the shirt I'm wearing. Try and talk about things that I can at least see, things that I do know, and things and resources for people to learn more. I've always had a problem with confrontation, so I don't usually speak out on things, but I've been on my anxiety meds for 2 months now, and I'm not gonna stand around anymore. It's not an inconvenience to be uncomfortable. I don't feel that it's more of an inconvenience to be uncomfortable than an inconvenience about what is happening with police brutality and groups still being marginalized. Anytime I think maybe that I shouldn't talk about this, I remember that before anyone started protesting or rioting or talking about this, George Floyd's death was ruled a medical incident. He was strangled on the street. He was choked to death on the street by 3 police officers, and one of them has been charged with 3rd-degree murder. We're talking about how the crime he was charged with, and I don't personally know very much about this, but I do know that the crime he was charged with was using a counterfeit $20 bill, ? And that's not even anywhere close to the punishment that was given to him. He was complying with the police, he was in the cop car, he was ripped out of the cop car and then killed on the street. A $20 counterfeit bill, that doesn't mean that he even counterfeited the money. He could have got that as change at a store. At the store, any store that I've worked at, we don't counterfeit check anything less than a $50 bill. The main officer who did it has already been arrested and charged. So why are people still protesting? This isn't an isolated incident. People have been protesting this for a long time. This has been happening for a long time, and it still happens each and every day. You've seen peaceful protesters being tear gassed and beaten just for standing. Not for people who've been rioting, not for the people who have been cussing or throwing things at police officers. People who are just standing, walking, abiding by the law. And it's not something that we can just sit by and watch without something being changed, which is why We need to do anything that we can do. We can't let a system that's supposed to keep us in check go unchecked. Like, we can't let police officers, like, who are you gonna call on a police officer? They are the police. Like, what are you gonna do? And that shouldn't be, that's not how it should be. So how are people not seeing this? How are people just saying, oh, well, that, it sucks that happened, but like, what do you mean, but, Like, no, it sucks that happened, period, and that needs to not happen again. It's happened several times before, and it needs to stop. People can change their profession when as soon as Dairy Queen asked me to do something that I was morally not okay with, I put in my 2 weeks notice. The principle is there. If you're gonna become morally desensitized in the name of the law, you're kind of choosing to do that as well. I don't think, this is where it gets a little bit controversial, but I don't think every cop chooses to become morally desensitized. But it's not as severe a minority as people think. More like 60-40 or 70-30 than like a 1% that people would like to be comfortable with. And I just think that a lot of misinformation, and we just have to keep educated and do what we can to make things right. There's several videos circulating and that are trying to be censored of police causing, like, instigating. There's a video of police breaking windows at a peaceful protest. There's videos of people driving, trying to just leave, trying to do what they said, getting ripped out of their cars, tased, their car's tire slashed, broken window. There's videos, there's evidence that the AutoZone fire, which is what a lot of people reference, was instigated by a police officer. But there's not both sides to this kind of thing. It's morally correct and people getting beaten, killed, and arrested for no reason. There's the side of right and the side of abuse of power. That's, you can be okay with a person who's good being a police. But the second a good cop stands by a bad cop without reporting him, he becomes a bad cop too. The second a chief or manager, I don't know, whoever hires the cops in their department, doesn't fire a cop when information like this, when something like this happens, bad. Like, there's no hearing both sides of that, Always one time, what you, oh, I killed someone one time. You know. It's not an accident. These aren't accidents. If you have the money right now, there's a lot of community bail funds. If you don't want to directly support, feel comfortable directly supporting someone that you don't know, I guess, there's community bail funds for people who have been arrested just for protesting. Several petitions, if you don't have any money, that and you could think, well, I don't need to sign that. Well, think about if they just needed one more signature, you know? Do you want to be that person? Do you want to be the person that's preventing, like, the moment people stop talking about things before they change, that's what they want, you know? We don't stop till change is brought. That's the model we should all be following. 'Cause like the moment you have to explain to someone, it's too late. And it's been too late. So that's why it's time. Like, it's time now. If the system doesn't change, then we're not gonna change. We're not gonna stop. Thanks for watching. You know to bye, subscribe. See you later, all you haters.